Alrighty, so this is going to be another dissection video. I'm going to be cutting open the Nike LeBron 8s. I did do a review on these a few months ago. Um, these have just been kind of backup shoes that I've had for a really long time, and I've put a ton of miles on these things, so I'm kind of okay getting them cutting them up. Um, so just to kind of review uh, some of the stuff on these, just these were probably one of the best basketball shoes that I've ever owned and played in. Um, for as I mean, they're beat up, but I've had them. I've put for as many miles I've put on these, and as much as I played in them, they've held up great. Honestly, I mean, I've put a lot of outdoor ball time in on these. There's still some tread on there, but just a awesome basketball shoe. Um, and I've even tried to look for um, new pairs online and stuff. I mean, they're still kind of hard to come by and still pretty spendy. But a lot of the information I'm going to be telling you, I actually got from another guy that does shoe reviews, Nightwing 2303. He's another guy I just kind of found that does good shoe reviews. He did a really good review on these. Sounds like he really knows what he's talking about. I haven't really looked into a whole lot of his videos. I just happened to see this one he did on the 8s, and I agreed a lot with what he said. But so the traction on these, excellent traction. They've got the classic herringbone traction going on, which is what they've used on a lot of their models. One thing I picked up from his videos was that in the heels of this particular model, that he's got the Phylon, which is just like a foam that they inject, and I guess it's just in the very bottom part of the sole, and then it is injected up into the shock absorbers or cushions, whatever you want to call those in there, and then it's used also in the midsole. So that's one real awesome thing about these, is that Phylon is awesome for the heel cushioning. That's one thing I really liked about these shoes, was just the cushion in them, and how well they just really absorbed compression and stuff. They're great. Also, the lacing on them is awesome. I wish I had like an older pair to kind of compare and contrast with, but just the lacing pattern. It's not just your typical straight down eyelets. They don't just go straight down. Like I said, I wish I had another pair to compare the difference between the lacing pattern, but these ones, they come in towards where your ankle would be right here, and then they come out towards where the widest part of your foot would be, and then narrow up again towards the toe, which is just smart, genius. And like I said, these are the original laces, original eyelets. I mean, that I've had. I've had these, yeah, for a while, and they've just held up awesome. And I'm probably going to end up buying another pair here eventually. But yeah, awesome shoe. The eyelets, they've got the plastic inlets on eyelets. I don't know if these ones had them. It just came out, but it's just very well made shoe. Held up awesome. Another thing that I picked up from the Nightwing guy, he was talking about how the flywire, I've just noticed Nike's flywire, they on a lot of their new shoes, it's just the flywire is just out. It's just exposed, and it's not really protected at all. And on these ones, they kind of used it minimally, but it's protected as well. It's kind of just got the plastic coating over it to protected. I don't even know if that's really considered fly wire on there, but it's protected so it won't fray. And it's used in the right spots, like just it's not just all over. It's where the tightest part of the shoes are going to be, where you're going to need the most support, where you're going to be making the big cuts and stuff, where most of the pressure is going to be put on the foot. So that's another great thing. The cushioning just in the shoe is just awesome. I mean, around the ankles and in the tongue. The tongue is super puffy. I mean, it's just got cushion throughout. I mean, on these guys, it's pretty flat now, but I mean, even still up in the tongue, there's still quite a bit of padding in the tongue and all the way throughout. Very breathable. This material here, on some of the old or the different versions of the shoe, it's, I don't know, some kind of have like a leather here, some are more of like a cloth fabric. I'm not even really sure what this is. It's so sorry, a little hiccup there, but anyway, so yeah, I was kind of just doing a completely new review on the shoe, but I'm gonna get to cutting these guys apart. One more thing I actually wanted to say was about the insole on these guys, and that's another thing I really wish I had another insole to compare to. But the insoles on these were just awesome. I mean, they're not that great now, but I mean, they're super cushy, super bouncy, super breathable. Man, I never even realized that, how tore up that was. But lots of cushion in the insoles, really thick and bouncy. I mean, you can still kind of see on the toe there how thick that was. But anyway, I'm going to pause real quick and get to cutting, and then I'll come on back. So actually, I guess I'll just kind of explain what I'm doing here. So it's the same as the last one I did. I got the shoe in a vice grip, and I'm just going to cut it straight down the middle. I just got a hacksaw, and I'm just going to have at it, and then we'll go from there. Alrighty, so we've got the LeBron 8s cut in half. It was ugly, but it's done. So the first thing that I'm going to point to is just the Phylon here, the Phylon foam that was injected into the bottom. So it was this stuff here. And they're actually still connected. I just couldn't get the tongue separated. I don't got anything to cut through that fabric very well. But anyway, so the Phylon, it goes up into these shock absorbers here, and I just think that was awesome. I think that really was a huge part of what made the shoe good. Along with the air pocket. So yeah, you can see that Phylon is injected on the bottom and the top, and it runs all through the length of the sole of the shoe. And along with the, I mean, you got your insole in there as well. That was just a great cushioning system that they used for this shoe. And you can just see in here also just the ventilation. I mean, that's just awesome ventilation. Just a mesh, breathable mesh that would just let the air in and out. As far as the padding, I mean, you can see in just the heel here how much padding, and I mean, that's after 3 years of wear. I mean, and I'm sure it was probably even more puffy than that when I first got them, but I mean, the padding all throughout the ankle was great. And up in the tongue, you know, it wasn't as padded as I thought it was, actually down towards the bottom of the tongue, but still super breathable. I mean, I could have seen that being a little more padded when you originally buy the shoe, but most of the padding was up here in the top part of the tongue. Yeah, I just think that Phylon, that's probably the greatest part of this shoe in my opinion. like I said, awesome basketball shoe, best basketball shoe I've probably ever wore. It's, I mean, like I said, I'm looking to get another pair if I can find a pair for a decent price. I mean, um, just really fit your foot well, and the lacing on that, like I said, was just awesome. Just the lacing pattern, it just really made sense. I mean, I never really even thought about that before. How, I mean, just most basketball shoes, the laces just go straight down and follow your foot. So it's just you kind of get the same lacing tightness throughout the length of your foot, and it's not really focused on any particular area. Whereas here, it's kind of, like I said, starts tight where the ankle is, like the where your ankle bends, and then gets wider with your foot, and then back to narrow. Um, I think that's awesome. But yeah, great shoe, worth the money. Um, even with popped air pockets, I was playing in these, and they were awesome. Um, but yeah, it's kind of sad cutting those open, honestly. But yeah, great shoe overall.